Should I like jump into your arms?
How so?
You know, like, we're debt free. I feel like we got it on the first take. Oh. All right, guys, we are making this video because we are officially debt-free homesteaders, and it's pretty exciting.
It is.
Are you excited?
Yeah.
It's been a huge goal of ours pretty much since we took a financial course when we first got married. And then we've been working towards it ever since. So this video, we're going to talk about why being debt-free is important to us. We're going to talk about how we personally became debt-free and what our financial goals are for the future. But before we get into that, for fun, I looked up some statistics about debt in the United States yesterday, and I'm going to read them to you. And hey, I realize that people take out loans and use credit cards for all sorts of different reasons. We're just talking about our personal goals and how we feel comfortable financially, right?
Yeah.
So this is from, I found this on Dave Ramsey Solutions, but I also checked it with a few other websites and the numbers were the same. So here we go. The average American debt per U.S. adult is $66,772. And 77% of American households have some type of debt. So debt being owing money to another person or another entity or institution.
Any debt, the average debt per household is $179,850. Credit card debt average is $19,865. Student loan debt is $58,408. Auto loan debt is $36,832, and mortgage debt averages $230,905.
That's kind of crazy, right?
That's a lot of debt.
You hadn't read those numbers yet.
I haven't read those yet.
So here's the thing for us. What do you think kind of led us to make this a huge priority for us? For you anyways.
I felt like I was spending the majority of my time like working more hours, more time, more effort to make money to pay the debt than to even pay for, like, I would rather spend my time more for my family than for making money to pay off what I owe other people.
I mean, it does, even if you're paying off debt comfortably, your debt to income ratio is good, your mortgage is less than 20% of your income, like, it's still a heavy weight. But I definitely know a lot of people that are in debt and it's not comfortable. It's like paycheck to paycheck. You have to work, you have to get an extra shift to just meet your bills on your loans, which is not a comfortable feeling and not what we wanted. Another thing we found out when we were taking our financial course, which for the record was Financial Peace University, and we do recommend it for single people and for couples. We found out that the number 2 reason people get divorced
Financial arguments.
are financial arguments.
Those birds
Whoa,
came close.
those birds are also very excited that we're debt free. I think those are hummingbirds.
Yeah.
And I believe it because I definitely know couples that argue about finances, and finances are stressful. For us, we got into the habit of, we are total open book when it comes to our finances. We have joint accounts, or we can see each other's accounts. We always talk about money. We do our monthly budget, but that's just how we work financially. You know, even with our past mortgage, we felt okay. Even with our truck payment, we felt okay. But we've just been obsessed with this idea of being debt free so that whatever money we make is completely ours, you know?
Even when we had the mortgage loan and the truck payment, we had a plan to pay it off early.
Yeah. So whenever we could, we'd pay extra on the principal. So, okay.
How?
So right now, yeah. So that's basically why being
Debt-free is important to us.
Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna. So those are most of our points about why being debt-free is important to us. Our relationship, our time,
and
family. Because, I mean, the fact of the matter is, if you have lower monthly expenses, you can spend less time working and more time with family. And we feel like in the future, when our kids are older, if we want to work more, that's cool. But we just don't get these years of them being young back, and you definitely don't get time back. So now we're going to talk a little bit about our personal story, how we did it. So I guess a good place for us to start would be with the first house we bought as a couple. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, it was definitely a starter home. As it was a manufactured home. It was on 4 acres, but yeah, it was definitely like an easy place to start. Our mortgage was on the small side.
I think it was about $600 a month.
We made improvements to the house and to the land, and so after we were in it for almost 3 years, when we sold it for a profit. So we sold it for more than we bought it, and that gave us a good little nest egg to buy the second house. And we did the same thing there. I did improvements to the yard, improvements to the house, and after 3 years again, it came time to sell it, and we've got a nest egg for the homestead now.
Yeah, and I think, and also during that time, we did have to buy Jag a new work truck because his just totally kaput. And trucks are expensive, but when you use a truck every day for work, when you use a truck every day for work, you kind of need one. So that's a good example of a time where you do need to take out a loan to achieve something. For a lot of people our age, if you want a house, you're going to end up taking out a loan. Or if you want a truck, you're going to take out a loan. Because for a vehicle, I will say this. It's great to buy used, and if you can, save up first. But if you can't, I understand taking out a loan for that. For a house, you have to take out a loan. And especially, let's just talk about, we bought our house in 2020, right? And then we're selling it now in 2024. And back then, that's not that long ago, but I'm saying back then, it was pretty easy to get a starter home. Well, I guess for us it was our second home, but still a starter-ish home for under $200,000. Now I feel like we have people in our lives, friends, family, that are trying to get starter homes, and they're having a really hard time finding anything that isn't a fixer-upper for under $300,000.
Yeah.
So that's crazy too. That's just commentary on the state of affairs right now. But that is how we managed to be debt-free. So we sold this last house, again, at a profit, a larger profit than we had before. And part of that is just due to timing. Because when we got our house, things were cheaper in general as far as homes go. Also, where we lived was just more affordable. Now it seems it's been discovered a little bit in Las Cruces, New Mexico. So prices have gone up, interest rates have gone up, and just in general,
and then
things have gone up.
Improvements to it too.
And
we didn't just use it as a home. We improved it. We completely did the yard. We planted fruit trees, shade trees, built a gazebo and a deck.
So it had a lot of curb appeal. So the sale of this house allowed us to obviously pay off that mortgage and then pay off our truck. And then we had used our credit card a little bit during this intermittent time, so we paid that off as well. Check, check, check.
Don't know anybody anymore.
We don't know anybody anymore. So what are our plans for the future? What are our goals anyways for the future? I think we've lived enough life to realize that You just got to never say never. You don't know what this life's going to throw at you. But our overall goal is to never take out a loan again.
Mm-hmm.
So fingers crossed. I mean, even with the money we have now to put towards our homestead, it's not by any means the complete amount of money you need to make a homestead, even on a budget. So we're going to have to allot that very wisely, and we're going to have to save in the meantime and put towards that homestead budget to accomplish our goals. But since we are debt-free at a young age, our mid-30s, we now have the time to put towards saving towards our goals, as opposed to hopefully not taking out a loan to meet those same goals. Does that make sense, what I'm saying?
I don't know.
It's early.
To not take...
Our goal is to not take out a loan ever again. We're hoping that since we've managed to become debt-free at a younger age, our mid-30s, now we'll have the time to work and save to put more money towards our homestead, as opposed to taking out a loan to meet those same needs.
Mm-hmm.
That's the goal anyways.
Okay.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
That made more sense.
Okay, thank you. Another goal of ours is to maintain low monthly expenses. Good morning, sun. It's
Sunrise.
Sunrise. Is to maintain low monthly expenses, because another thing we're fighting for here, as we've said, is time as a family. So that really just means budgeting. It really means figuring out your wants versus your needs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So buying things that you really do need, as opposed to splurging on wants.
Mm-hmm.
It means being innovative. Like, what are some of the things we're doing to find, building materials? Or
in our community, we've already made some friends and stuff. So there's a local farmer. We're going to him for some of the produce we're not growing ourselves yet, but
which we're not growing any yet.
Yeah. But
Continue.
So we're planning to get manure for him for our compost. Another friend, the company he works at, gives away pallets for free, so we're going to him to get scrap woods for little projects.
And you can still make that stuff look really nice. You don't have to buy everything new. But of course, when we do need something really quality or new, it's fine to buy it. It's just all about thinking about your overall budget and looking long term and remembering your goals or our goals. And like we said, our goals might not be the same as another person's goals, and that's okay. We're just sharing our goals. So I wanted to touch on what you just said about how we've been reaching out to people and talking to people and using things like bartering, one man's trash is another man's treasure kind of principle.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to create, of course, a faith-centered life, but then a family-centered life, and then a community-centered life. We really feel like homesteading, even though self-sufficiency is important, community sufficiency is important too. And a lot of times, I think when you're looking at long-term goals, you want to have the community to back you up, because when you're doing everything on your own, sometimes it feels lonely, sometimes it feels overwhelming. But when you have a community, there can be a give and take. Everyone needs a break sometimes. So maybe we farm sit for a friend so they can go on a road trip or a vacation, and then they'll do it for us in the future. And building those community ties, or like we said, trading vegetables for labor, or for however you want to barter with people, making the effort to reach out to your community to make those ties saves you money in the long run. And also stress, and it's just important to have that social aspect. Like, you shouldn't do these things all on your own, or at least that's not our personalities. Okay, I know I'm introverted. Did you see that face? I know I'm introverted, but I still do need social interaction. It's just that I also really like my alone time. So I will say it's been a healthy challenge for me to reach out to people I don't know, or to make the effort to say, "Hi, I'm Jessica. What's your name? Doesn't freak people out at all. But it's already paid off.
Yeah, it is. It's good.
So I'm sure there's things I forgot to mention about sort of our personal financial, I don't know, philosophy. But that's it, more or less. And we just wanted to share this story for people who are also interested in being debt-free. Like we said, it's not for everyone. We have an amazing piece of land, but we also live in a fifth wheel with our 3 kids, and that's part of our path to being debt-free. And we know not everyone wants to do that, but it works for us. Mm-hmm. And just you have to figure out your priorities. And for us, the relief of being debt-free, of knowing that the money we make is really ours, is so huge that we're okay with living in a fifth wheel. Mm-hmm. And creating our homestead over the next years, as opposed to, buying a home that's all said and done today. And that's where we're at.
Yeah, it's fun.
It is fun. It's our life. You cannot say our life is not an adventure right now, don't you think?
Yeah, it is.
So
that's what we keep saying. It's our big adventure's getting started.
Yeah. All right, guys, if you have any questions or comments, leave it below. If you liked this video, give us a thumbs up, and please subscribe if you're not subscribed. Genuinely, all these things are great ways to help us out and to encourage us on this channel. Because this is truly a labor of love. We might be barely monetized, but trust me, it's barely. So we really are doing this because we want to create community and share stories and that kind of thing. Yeah. So subscribe.
Yep, thanks.